Oh, you was here too?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right.
Good evening, good evening. Truly, I thank God for your time, for God allowing us to be here tonight. I am so excited. There's three reasons why I'm excited tonight. And two of these reasons comes from our beloved pastor. Number one, her message that she preached last Sunday. Failure is not an option. Y'all all believe that? Mm-hmm. Number two, she said at the end, she said, today is going to be the last day that we're going to be in the parking lot because we're coming back into the sanctuary, and I'm excited. And last but not least, you leaders that's here right now tonight who believe the vision that our pastor said that failure is not an option. This technology is not an option because we all, I know you leaders out here, want the people who come into Providence Baptist Church to feel safe in the environment and sanitized air, that when they come in, they'll have no problem of worshiping and giving God the praise because they know that the leaders here took every measures to make sure that they were safe in this safe environment. I believe in this technology because I have it in my home now. And since I have it in this home now, I've been sleep better. Me and my wife, when we fry, I cook our favorite foods. The odor and the scent is gone. I'm trying to tell you, I believe in this product. And on tonight, I have the distinct pleasure to have Raymond Birch, who is the chief bishop overseer for the Church of God here in the state of New Jersey. And he's going to take over the presentation from here.
What an honor it is. Thank you. As Elder said, I'm delighted that I get the privilege to stand before you. I want to start off the presentation tonight by asking you to give me attention to just a 2-minute video. And as the 2-minute video is being played, I would ask of you to please consider how can we help others to be better feel safe as they come into the house of worship. So please take a moment if you can. I'm going to turn my light up and make sure you can see it and listen to this presentation.
Virus that causes COVID-19 and other pathogens are reminders that bad air can kill. You want protection to keep you healthy and give you peace of mind, but you won't settle for just any protection. You want the best out there. Active Pure. The Active Pure system has origins in the NASA space program. It's even been inducted into the Space Foundation Hall of Fame. Active Pure is used daily by hospitals, offices, schools, sports arenas, restaurants, government buildings, homes, and more. So how does it work? The Active Pure system dispatches invisible supercharged submicroscopic particles at tremendous speed. The particles collide with viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens and immediately turn them into harmless byproducts. Active Pure works within minutes on both air and surfaces. It comes in portable and induct units for any space, from elevators to airports and everything in between. It's affordable, easy to install, and virtually maintenance-free. It's like invisible personal protective equipment, or PPE, for you, your employees, and guests. Sounds too good to be true? Independent FDA-compliant lab testing has shown that within minutes, Active Pure neutralizes more than 99.9% of pathogens, including the virus that causes COVID-19. The Active Pure Medical Guardian, powered by the same Active Pure technology as our other products, has been cleared by the FDA as a Class 2 medical device. There's only one Active Pure, qualitatively different from other systems like HEPA, bipolar ionizers, and UV light. They are too slow and passive to be effective. Some trap pathogens but don't destroy them. In fact, many of them are so dangerous, people can't even be in the same room while they operate. No system cleans the air faster, safer, or more effectively than Active Pure. To give your family, coworkers, and your customers peace of mind, choose Active Pure. Protecting lives with air you can trust.
Thank you so much. As in the presentation, within 3 minutes, any virus that causes COVID-19 is deactivated by this technology. It's been proven through science, through NASA, and numerous other clinical trials to be 99.9% efficient. Now, of course, nothing we can actually give 100% credit to, but this is the highest rating to be able to destroy any contaminants that may cause COVID-19. Not only that, it also helps against flu and other sinus problems that clean and purify your air. I want to do a quick demonstration for you. Many of you have walked into a room, a lit room, where the sunlight is coming through a window, and you saw the dust particles begin to fly in the air. Well, what COVID-19 does, I'm going to do a simulation here. What happens whenever you walk into that room? Those particles are beginning to go throughout the air, and they got to land somewhere. Most of them are landing on your clothes or either on your seat, and you're walking out and carrying those contaminants with you everywhere you go. A lot of them end up inside of your nasal passage or maybe even an ear gate. And so all of that has to land somewhere. So what ActiPure technology does is that fills the room and begins to cause the contaminant. ActiPure has 2 active cells. Immediately whenever they turn on, now the clinical diagnosis said 3 minutes. That's because they had to give the contaminants time enough to fill the room. Actually, if you were to turn it on, the moment you turn it on, then you will be able to see the ActiPure technology actively going out and destroying any contaminants that are in the air. So just as this is filled up, one cell just like that begins to clear. If you turn on both of them, before you know it, you have sanitized the entire building from ceiling to floor of all contaminants. That is why I have the privilege tonight to say to you, we want to help the people. Help the people feel safe about worshiping, help the people feel safe about their medical issues, help the people also have a confidence that coming into the sanctuary or coming into Providence is actually healthier for them than staying at their own home and trying to watch online. Coming into Providence with this technology will actually cause them to get all the viruses and anything, contaminants that may be in their nasal passages cleared out. So when they walk out, they would have known they've been in a sterile environment. I want to take a moment just to go through a couple of other things about the technology. As you've heard, most people have different types of technology out there. But most of the technology that is being presented on the market is what is called passive technology. In other words, you have a filter that hopefully when somebody sneezes will suck into that filter and get caught. Well, with ActiPure technology, it is what is called active technology. It goes out, launches out hydroperoxide chemicals to begin to destroy anything that's in the air. So you don't have to wait on a filter to draw it in. And it's a simple technology. It has 5-speed, elders are demonstrating them. It has 2 purification settings. One, if you're just home by yourself and you're not doing much cooking, it's sterilizing the air. Or if you don't have a lot of people over. If you have a lot of people over, then you want to activate both cells. We recommend that you activate both cells and just leave it running. It's only clearing allergens. There's a flu season coming around. All of that is going to be taken care of by this technology. I also wanted to call your attention to a few other things inside of this proof book. Inside of this proof book, you'll see there's numerous sports agencies, clinical agencies that have this technology, and this is actually helping people get back to a safe environment where when they go inside of it, they not only are knowing that they are in a safe environment, but they know that they're actually helping their health by being in that environment. And I believe you want to help the people help their health by being in this environment. Whenever they come in, you want them to know, hey, coming into Providence Baptist Church, you're not going to have any sickness, you're not going to have any contaminants that will cause any sickness, because we are doing our extraordinary best to make sure that all the people are protected. With that being said, I want to... With that being said, I thank you so much. I wanted to give most of the time tonight, while we can go through numerous other things, I wanted to give most of the time to question and answer, so that you can ask whatever questions you desire to ask. There is no question that is a bad question, so we welcome you to ask anything about this technology tonight, so that we can make sure that you can communicate to the people who you're serving exactly what we just said. We want you to be able to speak to them and say, we as leaders of Providence Baptist Church love you enough to protect you well beyond even Lowe's, Home Depot, or any other facility that you may go into. Your questions tonight.
Just for example, a room this size, do they require more than one unit?
Great question. So the recommended sterilization for the technology is 2,000 square feet. But if you're going to have a lot of people in one area, and just as Providence is, it's a welcoming church. So you've got people who are coming from all various backgrounds. You don't know what contaminants they may be carrying. So 2,000 square feet is the recommended suggested, but depending on the amount of congregation, we would recommend as a church environment that you may increase that to 2 units per 2,000 square feet. Reduce that down to 1,000. Good question.
I think Pastor told us before, it was about 6,000.
Yeah, the total.
The whole building is
The
6,000.
whole building is 6,000.
So if you would divide the whole building up and if this is the entire 6,000, then we would probably say 2,000, 2,000. We're probably standing in there, and then the rest of it would be, of course, the outlying areas.
City, that stuff we got.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I just got one question. What is the device? I mean, what kills the stuff? What is the? You know, I noticed the machine, but I mean, what's inside the machine that kills the virus? You know.
Okay, great question. So what is inside of it is what is called hydrogen molecules. So if we were to try to put this in a simpler terms, and this is not the medical terminology for it, but how many of you know hydrogen peroxide?
Oh,
You
yeah.
ever, so if you had to reduce that down to its purest form, such as in a sterilized surgery room, that would be what is being released into the air to
So it'd be
continue
like
to
pure
kill.
hydrogen, right?
Yes. This machine is what? Producing the hydrogen molecules that are lodging in the air.
Is this the same type of technology that the airlines use?
This is the same type of technology that many of the airlines have begun to utilize. It was actually first began.
I think I've seen it on TV.
Yeah. It actually first began through NASA. It was in NASA technology, because we cannot afford for any one who goes into outer space, into the astronauts, to get sick. So they had to come up with a way to make sure that they were protected from any contaminants. And so it was first introduced by NASA. It's one of only 75 pieces of technology that have ever received the highest award for in their invention. And that is one of the things that has made this stand out well above any other technology.
I guess the main question, this is for you. So you have this technology in your home,
Yes, I do.
and can you just give us a basic, price?
Well, because I have this technology at home, I'm able to sleep better.
No,
That when I come into my home, because you can run it 24/7.
I'm asking, what the price
Some
on
money.
Price? Well,
So that's a good
it?
question.
That's the main question.
So the question is, how much does the sanitizer cost?
Yeah.
After, as you said, the airlines are utilizing this to protect their customers, and more people are utilizing it. So this is not only an air sanitizer, it is a surface cleaner as well.
Yeah.
So the chairs, roof, ceiling, and floor. So what they did is they went on the market and they began to say, what is this technology being sold for on the market. Through that, the average sales for that is $2,500 per unit. $2,500 per unit. But what has transpired, because the owner saw this need, this technology was around before COVID was introduced. But once COVID was introduced, the owner is a Christian. And so he said, I want this technology to get out to help the people. So he immediately reduced the price down by $1,000 per unit. So the cost is $14.99 per unit. And that was with the reduction, okay? So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I was going to say the same.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions?
Well, this ain't so much of a question, but it's like, this company, this guy that you said that invented this all this, does he give out grants to the churches?
Grants, no, there is not a grant.
Just ask.
Yes, great question. There is not a
Just
grant.
ask. Yeah. Moving
Is it total solid-state technology, or are there moving parts in that little box?
The moving parts is the fan.
Yeah, just a fan.
The moving part is the fan.
One fan.
The one fan with the 5 speeds.
Is this something that should be on at all times?
We recommend
Constantly running?
that you leave it running. We recommend that you, because most of the technology is what they call passive technology. In other words, it only kicks on when your air conditioner kicks on or your heater kicks on. And now, who knows? Somebody walks in with COVID, they sneeze, now you got to wait till it kicks on. So we recommend that you keep it running. 40 watts of energy, that's the only amount of energy that you're pulling at any time to sanitize and clean.
And just to share with you, since that was a great question you asked, because I keep it on 24/7. And my wife, she's like, oh, electric bill gonna be high, I said, babe, no, it's not. I said, this is less than 40 watts. As Bishop said, I said, your microwave that you plug in, that light that shines and everything, it's drawing more energy than this machine. So we did the math. Before we got the machine, got the electric bill, and since we had the machine, so it was almost like $10, $15 difference, lower. So it does not affect you running it 24/7. Next question.
So again, it's electric. It's electric, and we know that twisted.
Yes.
What is the life of this machine?
That's what I want to do.
Leave it on for a period of time, and what is the life, and what does the warranty cover?
Okay. If you used to go to a dealership right now, I don't care what dealership you go to, what warranty are they gonna give you? Anyone know?
Lifetime.
What is that? What is the normal warranty that any bumper to bumper that you will get? Okay, what are you buying?
10 years when
It's
it's
gonna
up.
be 3 years, 36,000.
You buying the wrong car.
Huh? That's the normal bumper to bumper warranty you get.
For a brand new car.
And we ain't not talking about the trans and everything, but you get a 3-year
Oh, okay,
warranty.
yeah.
A 3-year
3-year
warranty.
warranty is not counted. I know.
And so here's the other thing, because in the compliance with the, what do they call it, appliances, compliance with the appliances standard, if you were to go buy a microwave, a stove, or anything like that, since this is considered along that same line, the maximum they could authorize is 3 years. However, the technology has been around for a long time. Listening to the company and listening to all the teaching, they had no problems with it, the life of it being longer than that. The great part about this right here, how many of you all consider yourself as extra handy? Can turn a wrench?
Oh, yeah.
Big, fantastic. So, with that being said, the maintenance on this right here is simple. A light comes on and says, hey, you need to clean these. You push the back, you take the back, open it up. It comes with a screwdriver right here. take the little filter out the back of it. Once you take the little filter out the back of it, you simply take a vacuum cleaner to it, both sides, and put it back in. Press the reset button, and now you're off again. No water, no solvent, no alcohol, anything has to go on this. And if you do, it voids the warranty. So that is simple maintenance on this. And the approximate amount of time that people have said when they ran it in a heavily contaminated area, they've been able to run it for 6 consecutive months without having that light come on to tell them to do maintenance on it.
So, in other words, it's not like air conditioning,
That's
but
what I
you
was
don't,
gonna say.
you don't have to put a filter in there, you just clean it out.
Clean the whole filter. Mhm.
Great question.
And that filter is not to, take any contaminants out there, that's what.
The filter is just for dust. It does not, it's not pulling any contaminants in there.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Okay, so our building is quite tight. So we really don't want the heat or the air conditioning unless we're in the building and it heats up very quickly or it cools off very quickly. So what would you recommend in terms of the use of this device if we are not running the heat and the air conditioning off unless we come into the building? So let's say if we come in before COVID, if we came in for Sunday school, we might turn the heat on at 8:30 for a 9 o'clock class, and we would really be comfortable.
Mm.
What then would you recommend for using something like this where the building is empty most of the time? Do you need to keep it running 24/7?
No, absolutely not, Pastor. You would not need to keep it running. However, once again, you run the risk. Someone comes in, happen to be having contaminants, and then they come in and they forget to turn the technology on because it's new technology. People, they used to. And I hate to say it, but we are oftentimes when we come in, we're on automatic. Our cars know how to get to church
Oh, yeah.
on their own, and we have
We
a
don't forget
system
about
when we come into church. We turn this on, we know how to turn it. And so since this is new technology, and it's such low wattage, I would not even be concerned about having it running while people are not here, so that people can get used to coming into the comfort. Now, if you have a way to ensure it, the other recommendation is, I don't know how your sanctuary is set, but the other recommendation that they recommend, just for the sake of, and I want to say this in a loving way, you all have to excuse me because I only know how to put this in biblical terms, but just for the sake of the Adam and Eve that come in and not supposed to touch the machine, you may want to put the machine in a place where it is not handed all the time. And so if you put it there and you were to turn it on, you wouldn't have any problems with it. So I would recommend, as the churches that we have, they put it out of the way, or if you want to, if you have a system and you can trust someone to do this, you can store them away, and when someone comes in, they set them up and turn them on each and every time. But having them out and not knowing who's doing what at the beginning may be quite risky. Is that okay? Put it that way.
And it is simple to operate, so whoever will be designated or whoever will be designated to operate it is a simple class to show you how to operate.
Power button. And turn on the 2 filters or turn the speed.
We did, while he doing that, just to piggyback on what the pastor was saying,
Yes, sir.
what amount of time would it take to clear the air for his space? Like just say if you came in, punched the buttons, how long would it take to clear the space?
Very good question. Within 3 minutes, it's going to deactivate everything and begin to sanitize everything. Now, they recommend, at first, initially, when you start the purification process, they recommend you give yourself 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So what we would recommend is if you have a Sunday morning service, and you wanted to sterilize it, then you run it 24 hours afterwards to sterilize the entire place, and you come back in on a Monday and you shut them off until somebody else is going to come in.
Okay, that's
And
what
so that is the record.
So your initial sterilization would take
Yes.
24 to 48 hours just for
24
the
to
sake of
And after a larger event, depending on the people who you have, then you may want to go through that same sterilization process. And this is going to cut down, I don't know about you, but I'm a military veteran, and somewhere along the way, I contracted allergies. And I think it's because of all the chemicals that they made me utilize in the military. And so bleach is one of the great smells, and pine sol is one of the greatest smells, but it does something horrible for my allergies, my sinuses. And so this is also going to cut down on those contaminants, those chemicals that we're utilizing to call ourselves sterilizing something, but yet we're harming the nasal passages of many people. So that's the great thing. Within 24 to 48 hours, no bleach needed, no pine sol needed, and the technology is totally cleaning chairs, floors, windows, you name it, sterilizing it.
You said at the beginning there's 5 speeds and 2 purification settings.
Yes.
What are the 2 purification settings? What are the difference between the two of them? I mean,
So just for instance, if you were in a small room by yourself, you don't have to. You can use both of them. It's no harmfulness. This is just, like I said, these are being utilized in operating rooms. But if you're in a small room by yourself and you know that nobody's coming in and out, then you can just run one cell. You see how quickly it brings the contaminants down for one? Or you can bring, if you have a lot of people and you know they're coming in and out, then you want to turn both cells on to rapidly increase the hydrogen.
and that has to do with the speed too, how you say it's 5
No, the
speeds?
speed is simply for the fan. The
Okay.
fan that goes on there. And that fan is really for odor purposes. The odor purposes. Normally in a lot of the demonstrations, you could actually take an onion and cut it and place your hand over it, and within 3 minutes you can put this hand over it and this hand, and that onion smell is gone based on the fan speed. Okay, so that's how they gauge it. Make sense?
Yes, yes, thank you.
So if somebody is frying chicken, the smell won't inundate the entire building. Or if it has, it'll clear that out.
Yes, I love bacon. I love bacon. I love frying bacon. I know if you ever fry bacon, that smells. It'll stay for a couple hours. It'll stay for a while. Well, the first time we having the machine, I have fried my bacon, I fried my fish, I fried my shrimp, and I was just amazed. I'm like, wow, the smell. It was gone. Now, of course, sometimes you love the smell of the food, but to see that the odor is gone, it's just wonderful.
What about chilies?
Oh,
Well, question for you. Are you referring to good chili or bad chili? Because there's some bad ones, and you can smell them immediately. But the strongest smell that they could find, that they found that lingered the longest among any other smell, was the smell of popcorn odors.
Yeah,
And so that's what it was tested on, popcorn
And-
odors.
and that is
because
true, popcorn.
They said those float through the air faster and at a rapid pace
That
and
is
linger
true.
longer. And so that's what this was tested on. And I'm going to tell you, my Fresh Air Mobile, I went into a hotel room, and people are not supposed to smoke. Elder has testified of how the product has worked for him. My wife and I, we take our Fresh Air Mobile everywhere we go. We went into a hotel room, and immediately you can tell somebody had been vaping in that room.
Oh, yeah.
They vape in there, even though it says no smoking. A lot of people don't consider it smoking. That's why when you're on the airlines now, they brief you and they say no smoking or vaping.
Yeah, right.
Because people will vape. So you could tell somebody been vaping in there. God delivered us from that whole horrible lifestyle 25 years ago, and so we're very sensitive to that. So immediately when we walked in, we could tell it. So we put on our Air Fresh Mobile on high, and we walked out and went down to the gym, hung out in the gym for a little while, came back in 2 hours, nothing. You couldn't even tell that it was there. And so the product works on smell as well as the virus itself. And so that's my testimony of how it has helped me, as well as being able to sleep without night sinuses. Every night, the sinuses seem to kick in, but since we had the technology, I hadn't had to worry about the congestion at night.
You say it's like $14.99 for one. And I think before you mentioned like in a place like this, we might need 2 over here and 2 over there, just for example, 2 and 2. Will we get a discount or a break the more you buy, or I'm sorry, just the trustee in me talking.
You're absolutely on track, and you're absolutely on track. And so here's the thing, and we are, as distributors, we have initial purchases. When you purchase initially, you get a greater discount. But once our purchase is over with, then that discount kind of goes away. You can just purchase for whatever you need. The dilemma comes in the fact that some distributors may decide, I don't want to get involved in this no more, and they may violate the contractual agreement. And the contractual agreement, the consent agreement that we agreed to as Christians, authorized us to sell them at $14.99, plus we can reduce them an extra 20%. Now, I don't know, the last time I came, and I'll just be honest, there was 20%. I don't know how long he's going to keep that 20% out there. But in full disclosure, this is something that you didn't ask about, but in full disclosure, we shared this, and we're not afraid to share it again. There is opportunities for greater levels of discount. That is in helping the people. Helping you become one who are willing to help the people yourself. Now, once you become one who's willing to help the people yourself, then there is a greater opportunity for discount.
And do you understand what he means when he says a great opportunity to help?
Absolutely. Yeah.
No,
You don't understand?
Okay. So I'll explain it to you this way. As a distributor, of course, we are in the business of distributing them, wholesale, retail. We get them, and this is what they tell us we have to market and sell them for as a wholesale. And so when we get them initially, if I come in and I purchase a certain amount to get a greater value of discount, once those are over with, I don't get the opportunity to purchase in bulk any longer. I can purchase one machine at a time at a rate. They make a recommendation of what you market those for. However, as a distributor, you can be as liberal as you desire, but you have to understand that this is a business venture, and you cannot go below what you actually invest.
Do you understand what you're saying?
The great and the great thing is, many of you have influence in your community. Many of you know people, loved ones who can utilize this technology, who can protect them. One more testimony that is not my testimony, but is a testimony of a pastor. He went and he felt some symptoms because he had contact with somebody else. They came up positive with COVID. He came up positive with COVID. I immediately dispatched one of the machines to him. He opened it up, put it in there. Symptoms totally dissipated. Within 3 days, he was totally COVID-free as he went back to test. Now, you know it's not that quick, but this is really an opportunity to help the people. And so, I don't know, maybe some of you all tonight feel the urgency to say, hey, what we're doing, maybe you want to be able to do for some people you have influence with and help those people. It's totally your option. I don't know. Any other questions, concerns?
Yeah.
And the city, how long have you been at the city? You got a time period or you have time?
All thing I'm gonna say to you is, failure is not an option.
Okay, just one more question.
Absolutely.
Okay, like, you know, just like computers and everything else, after 2 years, the technology changed and all that stuff. And the technology for this probably not changed, right?
No, okay.
Say a couple years from now, okay, we come up with a new model, something.
Yes, sir. Are they going to come out with an iPhone 2, an iPhone 3, an iPhone 4?
Yeah, basically.
That's the truth.
No, sir. The technology itself is patent and it has not changed. What has changed over numerous times is the shape of the outer shell, just for the fact that different.
It may be advanced more way covered. Like right now, you say it covers so many feet. In a couple years, it might cover expanded.
No, sir. No, sir. What they have done is they have taken the same technology and said, okay, personal, right here, with inside of you, protecting you from people smoking or drink, whatever, right here. Same technology in here, not iPhone 3, not iPhone 4, same technology, not iPhone 5.
That's something bigger and better.
Yes, sir. Same technology inside of the mobile, but it covers, each one of these covers a smaller radius, you understand. So same technology in here, same technology in here, same technology now that they have taken and said we need to do it for bus drivers so that bus drivers can be protected. But it's the same technology, different shell, same technology that has been around since they approved it for NASA. The danger in possibly even thinking about doing that is you run the risk of not having your certification through NASA. So that's why they wouldn't even mess with the technology because
I've read it on the internet, NASA uses this kind of technology. So I know a little bit about it. I don't know about that. But I know more about it now.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So the mobile unit is a separate unit,
There's no.
what is the cost?
The mobile units are a separate unit.
How much is that?
The mobile units is a separate unit.
Yeah, how much is that?
That you can put in your vehicle is a car adapter as well as in a small room. So if you were to go into a hotel room and you wanted to have it in there, it would do the same technology. A little bit longer time because of the size of it, but it would do this exact same thing. But it only covers 50 square feet. 50 square feet.
What's the average cost of that?
$199.
Oh, that ain't bad.
What
What
that?
about one that-
Mobile's
And it's the
$199.
same thing, open it up, vacuum.
No.
No, the great thing about this is there's no maintenance on this right here because they have inside and out. So if you want to open it up, you can open it up, but if you don't want to be an Adam or Eve and discover the new, you don't have to.
You don't need it.
That's actually, same with this, take, maintenance free.
And this is battery operated.
And how much is the price of that? The price.
Oh, the price for this is $129.
and the mobile is 190,
$199.
so it's 3 to
So the thing you have running there, what is that thing? Does that operate?
It's on right now.
I mean, what does it operate? Does it operate one of these guys?
No, this is
It's a
an air
Oh,
freshener.
oh,
I wear this to work. I wear this while I'm delivering
And
sales.
so as we found out, and I know, and don't get me wrong, as we found out over a period of time, other than the N95 mask. The particles are too small, smaller than the regular mask, so it goes through there. So this is actually protecting you at a greater rate than what you're protecting yourself at.
Oh, yeah.
Because the closer I get to you, this technology is helping you more than what you have on is helping.
Can I just ask, are you able to more clearly define how someone could perhaps become a distributor? And what the benefits of that would be? Is that possible?
Absolutely. So, as a distributor,
As far as discounts, that kind of thing.
as a distributor, you have access to, just like many other retailers do. When you go into Costco, you know that Costco pays a certain amount for the product and they put the product on the shelf for what the Costco market is. Well, as a distributor, you get it at the regular rate. You get it at the rate that is inside of your back office. Each distributor has their own website, and then they get an opportunity to go into their back office. Unfortunately, and I'm just being honest with you, the compliance letter that we are obligated will not allow us to disclose the compliance level of that. But if someone would like to become a distributor to find out for themselves, and you can purchase at a discount rate, purchase those that technology, put it in there, okay? Put it and give it to whoever you want. So when I purchase these right here, I purchase 5. I purchased 5 units so I can get the greater amount of discount. When I purchased the 5 units from my back office, I paid the retail, and I actually turned around and I sold them to other people, and put one in my house, put one in the office that I work in, and then I sold them. The approach for this, and I just want to be, I'm trying to be as honest as possible, without violating our compliance agreement. Now, you may be able to go on websites and find this and this technology, and people are utilizing it in an unauthorized manner. There are people who are actively searching out anybody who does that. And I would say that people don't do that because you violate your warranty, you violate your marketability by going on there. But if you become a distributor, then you actually get an opportunity to bless and help other people by purchasing them and reselling them. The goal for this is to get the technology out to help the people, to get it into the hands of the Christians at a reduced rate. But to market this at a secular area at real rate. Many people in the secular arena are paying $2,500 for the technology because they understand in the secular arena how well this is for their clientele and their marketability. So they pay the whole $2,500. The $14.99 is a reduced rate that, as a Christian, that we are trying to do. You can actually market it for the $14.99. It is your product to resell at the rate that you want to resell it at, outside of reducing it down to where you lose.
It's got one more. It's not a question, but it's more like a comment observation. See, I work for the school system. All right, you know that Governor Murphy has ordered all kids to enter into the door and have face masks. So you said something like this would help. I mean, kids, they don't like one. They don't like one. But I said, has anybody talked this over with governor? Maybe that's an alternative if they wear face masks.
You know, the thing that you just said is really, really good, because this technology has already been presented in the Philadelphia school system, and the Philadelphia school system, along with other school systems, have already purchased the Active Pure technology. You've got all the way from Texas, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Florida, Missouri, these school systems are beginning to purchase this technology, and it's reduced the amount of time. The unfortunate thing is, the product is influence driven. If I had an audience with Governor Murphy, I may be able to do the presentation, but I don't have the connection with Governor Murphy. You have a connection with Governor Murphy that I don't. Maybe I'm just saying, they say, hey, Governor Murphy, why not do what Philadelphia school systems are doing and protect the kids at a greater rate? Because reality is, let's be honest, how many kids are going to keep their masks on
All day long.
It's not going to happen. It's like telling people don't turn on your cell phone.
Believe me, it's gonna happen. That's how we, that's the school movement.
They're going to find a way, what, I would just like to swear.
They pull them down, but if we see them,
Right.
it was like
And I understand it. So now you walk around,
we got to do the same thing too.
you walk around as the bad guy.
About security, yeah.
But as a distributor, whoever you have influence over, you get an opportunity to present that to the person and say, hey, we want to help you, help the people. That's our main goal today, help you, help the people. And so whether or not that be by, hopefully today you'll purchase the machines that you need to protect the people, so when they come in to the sanctuary, they'll already know. You'll begin to announce it and let everybody know that Providence are cutting edge above. Just as many of our churches did under my umbrella, they began to say it from the pulpit. You come here, you're 100% protected. You're protected just greater than going out to eat a meal, because we care. So we're putting ourselves at a higher level. So hopefully you'll purchase them, and then maybe you may consider tonight, hey, I know people who can utilize this technology, and I would like to become the one who will help the people and become a distributor.
Also, as Bishop was saying, when you do purchase it, I have a seal that we can put right there, Pastor, right there. So when people come, they'll see that our church, the leadership here, says this premises are protected by Active Pure technology to enhance the safety and protection of our person and party. Active Pure technology.
And that's going to be on the outside of your door, so everyone who comes in,
So they know that our church took every measure to protect the people who come into our sanctuary for one.
So once again, hopefully, Pastor, I made it as clear as our compliance would allow us to. If anybody wants to become a distributor of the product, then yes, there is a reduction rate allowed for distributors that is not allowed to by our compliance for marketing purposes. Now, as I said before, I've seen it. Many people may have. People are getting out, they quit, or they put it out and they try shortcuts and they try to put stuff on websites or whatever. That is illegal to our compliance. I'm a Christian. I don't want to go to hell over violating a simple compliance. I always told people, if I went to jail and somebody said I robbed a store and they said it was for $500, they lying. Because I'm not going to jail or hell for that. That it's going to be big. So I'm not going to jeopardize my salvation over that. Now, the great thing is, by you purchasing from us, we as Christians, we're just here to help you. Elder and I have discussed it, and if you feel like that you want to purchase at the discounted rate, which will bring it down to $11.99, then what we're willing to do for that is to make sure that every one of you all have your own personal device. We can turn around and get those for you, okay? To make sure that you're protected while you're walking around. But those are things that you can do as a distributor that you cannot do without being a part of that. The 20% brings it down to $11.99.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like you said,
Well, Pastor, you do it for $11.99 for what? For one, yeah.
What is it, 11 now? Oh, we good.
This is my final.
We don't care about how many questions you have. Ain't no-
Okay, the other devices we have running there, do you have any, like, statistical data that they actually does and you know, you always got the skeptics out here. Okay, like some people say, oh, some people got advice for you.
Show me some proof.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And you know, I hate to say it, but you will always have those, even people who are skeptical of your salvation.
Yeah.
You know, when you got saved, people are like, are you really saved? Well, the longer you're aware, the longer you have it around your neck, the more you'll be able to testify, hey, I have felt the difference.
And some people believe in movement is
You good?
Any more questions? I know we got some more questions. And I know Bishop, you touched on it and everything about the dark web. We call it the dark web. So you might, people gonna do their due diligence like I did when Bishop first told me about the product. I said, you know, I see this. I see people put this on eBay, different sites. And first thing he told me was go to your back office, Elder. Read the compliance letter. So Elder went to the back office. I read my compliance letter. So when I read the compliance letter, I realized that the people who've been posting this on their own website or eBay, they doing it illegally. They're not in compliance with the company. The company comes after them. Matter of fact, it was just on one of our Zoom calls with the owner. He talked about where they actually called the number of one of those people on the site, made the order. Because one thing about it, when you order from me, my ID is associated with the order. So when you buy the product, the warranty and the guarantee comes with it. So if anything happened within those 3 years with the product, you bring the product back to me. But if you was to order, and Christian should be ordering from the dark web, if you was to order from that and something happened with the product, you will call up Valera. First thing Valera is gonna say, what is the ID number that's associated? And you ain't gonna be able to give that ID. So they already know if you ain't gonna be able to give the ID, that means there's no warranty, no guarantee to that product you bought off the dark web.
And so just as I stated before, as a distributor, there's a greater discount for buying 5. So when I purchased the 5, I had an option after I put one in my office and the other one there. If I could not, quote unquote, offload those other 3, and I decided, okay, I quit, I can't do this right here, I cannot, do it. I can put it out there, but then whoever buys it, they take the risk of buying it, and they're gonna get it at the lower rate, but without any warranty. That's it. Nothing. No marketability or anything. And so I would not even suggest that or recommend that, especially for a church. It just would not be a good steward. I know a lot of times you can have that.
No, it's not in English, you can't read it.
Oh,
It's not in
the back part is not?
No,
Did I print
No,
out
you can't read it.
I print out the Spanish version of it?
Oh,
Okay, I print out the Spanish version of it. I apologize.
That's all right.
We'll make sure. Well, I don't know if you want to open it up or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, the technology. So to hopefully to make sure that everyone feels at ease about it, we're not here to fleece the church. We're here to help the church. We're doing our very best as young Christians to try to help others, and that's why we actually telling you there's an opportunity for you to help other people and to get a greater discount. Now, if you were to choose, say, hey, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in and do this for the church, and then I'm going to get out. Is that Christian? Is that the Christian heart? or you know, or somebody said it like this right here: if your Holy Ghost let you do it, but mine would not.
Mhm.
And so that's why I had to do it right way. So I wasn't going to just offload these. And I talked to the church and I said, hey, this is where we at. And I said, at that time, I said, hey, I want to do it the right way.
And I love my church, and we need this technology, because failure is not an option.
Oh, Lord.
That was the word.
Any other questions? Please, there's no bad questions and you can't hurt our feelings. Think about it, it's less than $1 per square inch of protecting the people. Less than $1 per square inch of protecting. We have no questions? Pastor, I am delighted. I'm always delighted to be in your presence. You all don't know this, but I'm now considered Providence a second home. I'm watching every service. When I don't have an assignment, I pop up. Pastor said, is that Bishop over there? I pop up, I come over. I appreciate you all allowing us the privilege to be here. I appreciate my friend of 26 years, and for allowing me to come alongside and partner with them. And each and every one of you, we honor you for the privilege to be in this ship. Thank you. We open with prayer. Can I close with a word of prayer? Father, what a privilege it is that we are called for such a time as this. Looking back over our lives, there is no possible way that we could be standing here today sharing this technology. There's no possible way that we could even orchestrate this moment. I believe, Father, without a shadow of a doubt, this is a God moment that you allowed us to be a part of. Thank you for kingdom connections that will go beyond, Lord God, this room. And Lord God, spread the gospel and spread, Lord God, your glory for everyone. And we love you. Thank you for long life, health, and strength to share, Lord God, the gospel in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you all so much.